This is August 28th, 2025. Your number one asshole doctor, Doc Ellis, Ellis Clinic, Oklahoma City. Let's answer some questions. Here's one about FERS. He's from Ohio. I need a permanent total disability report for FERS, OPM, and Social Security. And so what we do there, we do a FERS report, and we answer the FERS words. Every system has magic words. Each state has its magic words for state workers' comp. FERS has magic words. Social Security has magic words. So if I do deem and think that you are Social Security eligible, I'll add, instead of the things in the FERS report, I will add not able to engage in sustained gainful employment, which is the magic words for Social Security. FERS is that you can't do the job that you're hired. A classic case, guy's got a fused neck, he's a crane operator, he can't do that, but he's certainly not Social Security eligible. He can do a desk job. Okay, but so if that's true, we'll discuss it and we'll do it. Okay, and this is Tony from Illinois. Chronic migraines and vertigo. My VSO found that I had documented head trauma in my service records, so we submitted a claim for TBI, but without a Nexus report. Now, just let me tell you something, folks. You don't send anything to the federal government, VA, without a Nexus report. Your medical records never meet the VA disability criteria. They're medical records. They're not a causation. They don't say more likely than not. You've got to find a doctor that knows how to do this. Now, be careful. Some doctors just don't do it, and most doctors don't. So you don't go to your local doctor to do it. You have to take someone that knows this crap. All right? The trouble is, over 50% of litigation regards a doctor's report. Social Security, VA disability, FERS, and all that stuff. And all we learned in medical school about legal medicine is that lawyers don't go to heaven. Now, I'm a professor of legal medicine. That's my first axiom, okay? All right, okay, so you need a Nexus report. Always use a Nexus report. Get someone who knows how to do it, and see if they're successful. Go to VA Appeals, click the word Ellis, and see what happens. We are relying on Dr. Ellis' report. It meets all the legal criteria, so we remand it back. Based on Ellis, remand back. Start over. I just tell the truth. It's not that I'm honest. It's that I'm 83, so I must be senile, and I'll forget what I said, so I tell the truth to start with. Okay. So especially traumatic brain injury. Now, this is a VA form 8045, residuals of traumatic brain injury. Any doctor or medical person, this is the greatest form for head injuries I've ever seen. I use it for everybody, not just vets. It goes through all and then it gives you numbers and gives you a feel. Wonderful VA thing. The VA clinical manual is awesome if you're doing any kind of legal medicine. So it's all there. It's all online. Okay. Or come in, spend a couple days with me. I'll teach you how to do this. I'll probably charge you $1. Okay, so you want a Nexus report. Okay. But you send it into that Nexus report. Now, here I've seen VSOs don't really realize this. In fact, I'm just going to have to use the name. I was going to put an ad in the American Legion that we run in, like the VFW and stuff, and then the clerk said, we can't use your ad because you're a competitor. The American Legion has veteran service officers accredited by the VA that know the stuff. Always use those people. But this person, without realizing it, says something very, very wrong. Where I'm not a competitor, you need a VSO. If you go through, file your stuff electronically and not use a free VSO, every state has a veteran service officer, qualified and trained by the VA. American Legion, VFW, all those agencies have people trained. It's free. They can't charge. Okay? And let them fill out that electronic stuff. And if you're a lawyer, let the VSO do it. They know it. They know what's the magic word this week. Okay. Now, you can use an attorney on veterans if you have a denial. Unfortunately, you can't use an attorney to start a VA claim. Okay, so here we have a Nexus letter. Of course you do that, especially TBI. Now here's the problem with traumatic brain injuries. My daughter, working on her psychology degree, bachelor's, We pulled my charts, starting from the letter A through D, and we ended up with 100 patients with head injuries. And we made sure they were plaintiffs. In other words, they're in a lawsuit, either a personal injury like car wreck or workers' comp lawsuit. So there's a propensity to want to lie and get money, and made sure that they were sent to us by plaintiff attorneys, the ambulance chasers. Okay, so if there's anybody who needs scuzzball out there, we'd get them. Okay, so we found over 100 patients. And what was fascinating on the patient information form, where you fill out your name and address, your symptoms and stuff, they might mention headaches, but 76% of people with real brain injuries, positive by MRI, CT scan, or neuropsych test, is a 2D big test, not just my opinion, actual real stuff, 76% didn't mention memory impairment. Wow. And now I know why. You watch a John Wayne movie and he gets knocked out and he wakes up and he's normal. There is no minor head injury. There is no minor head injury. And so, and then, I love this. Emergency room, no loss of consciousness. If you lose consciousness, you didn't know you lost consciousness. So you get ding, whoa, and you may have a little buzz for a minute. You may be out for an hour. So the emergency room said, were you unconscious? No, I was walking around. No, it hypnotized that person, and it's not on the tape. It did not get registered. Brain damage. Those little teeny neurons got torn. It's a physical injury. So anyway, now what's also interesting, back to when okay, more than 80% of neurologists miss the diagnosis. Neurologists are worse in picking up brain damage. So there you go. All right. So and I've been doing brain injuries since forever. I had a patient. This is a state workers' complication, back injury and unconscious, and went to the emergency room unconscious and blah blah blah, and so I had to start a walking wounded head injury treatment for people there, because there wasn't anything out there for head injury people. And so once a month I would get with a family and explain, and the psychologist and the occupational therapist and the family explain about the husband and daddy, why he's acting this way and what we need to do. Okay? So anyway, he gets back surgery and the surgeon releases him for his workers' comp claim. And I called the neurosurgeon up. I said, don't release him. I haven't released him for his head injury. And the neurosurgeon said, what head injury? No, I got all self-righteous and uppity. There's a lot of literature shows really bad head injury patients don't know they have it. Minor head injury people are afraid to talk about it. It's like you got a back injury. You're going to have to ask that guy if he gets hard on. He's not going to write it down. Okay? You got to know if that nerve goes to his penis has been interfered with. Okay? So anyway, so they're embarrassed to talk about it. All right. So anyway, so he comes in next time. Cowboy shirt, pressed, creases, shiny belt buckle, clean, neat, shaved. How you doing, Jerry? Fine. How's your wife? Fine. What's your wife's name? Hasn't got a clue. 100% disabled from brain injury. But he had back surgery. Okay? So don't trust anybody about brain injuries. Get somebody that's interested in it. All right. And by the way, and again, that 8045, the residual traumatic brain injury, is a great form for everybody. Good way to start in getting an opinion. Now, okay. All right. So obviously you always want a Nexus letter. All right. That's always the answer. Okay. All right. Now that is, okay, now we have Robert, guidance on VA claims. Okay. Guidance on my VA claims, possibility for a Nexus review through LSA. No, you don't need Nexus review, you need Nexus reports. Come in, we go through each one and put them together. Now, what most people don't understand is the VA law and federal workers' comp law are ridiculously fair. So if you had flat feet and before you went to service they got a little worse running around in cowboy boots and the backpack, then those feet are covered. Then the feet make back and necks and everything else and hips and knees worse. That now in state workers' comp that wouldn't be, personal injury that wouldn't be, but that is. So you go through each one All right. The VA did not see a single in-service treatment in paramedic units. Of course they didn't. If you are in basic training and you go to the medics, you're going to get KP. You know that. It's just like as a flight surgeon. The only time I see a pilot in my office is for the flight physical. The rest of the time it's out on the flight deck or in the officers club. I got this friend, Doc. I said, well, give your friend this prescription and go to my clinic and pick this up, or he'll get grounded. If just even a runny nose. Now, I'm going to ground him. He's got a runny nose because you're going to pop your ears. But, okay, so I'll give you some Sudafed. Anyway, so we'll go through all that. And just come in, we'll do it. Okay, we'll do it. You got a whole bunch of them here, and no problem. Okay. Here's a question. Should I wait until the higher level review decisions are finalized? Start now. Now, you come in, say you pay me $500 for a knee, and then you come in and it's been approved, then we don't cash the check. Okay? But do it now. Why wait? Also, you get it in while they're still under high on your review, you're going to get somebody who knows what they're doing. Okay, this is Kendra. Medical retirement for Postal Service. Thank you for working Postal Service. The definition of a third world country is that you don't have the United States Postal Service. Newsweek calls me the pioneer of CD-ROM Bible study. I'm the first and largest seller of Bible software in the world. It's on my curriculum vitae. And we were selling hundreds of thousands of units. And we always just stuck them in the mail. And from 88 until 2008, two people didn't get their discs. And one guy called back, I did, Doc, it's under an envelope. From 88 to 2000, hundreds of thousands of units. Wow. Outsold everybody. Outsold Microsoft in bookshelf, okay? That's the post office. Thank you very much. Okay. So thank you for that. So FERS, haven't ever done scheduled award. You can do them both. Do them both. Scheduled awards, Department of Labor, FERS is Office of Personnel Management, two different deals, no big deal. And you can do your scheduled awards every year. So absolutely, we'll do them both. We'll get you taken care of. 6. Okay, now this is RJ. Diabetes and obesity is a case of secondary to tinnitus. Did a literature search, can't find anything. Okay, but now if let's say you had a mechanical injury like a knee or an ankle or a foot that added to weight gain, then that weight gain and obesity will give you diabetes. Okay. So if you hurt your back or some musculoskeletal deal, and you had to decrease your activities of daily living, even the slightest amount, it contributes to obesity, and then it would be service connected. It wouldn't be in criminal law, it wouldn't be in most state workers' comp law, but it would be in federal workers' comp and VA disability, because the law is very fair. But no one knows that. So I was a general. I was an internal medicine residency in the Army at Fort Lewis, Washington, bottom of Puget Sound. And General Hunter French, the phenomenal guy. I check oysters at the beach house. So he comes in one day, he says, Doc, we're getting complaints about you. You're finding more on the exit physicals on all these people that are than everybody in this combined. Well, I know what it is. It's top sergeant who's got it. It's like it's coming out of his pocket. Said, if you put anything on here, I'm going to keep you an extra week. So everybody just puts out blanks. Just one out. Okay. All right. I said, General, did you get a call from Washington? Well, no. Have you read the VA law? No. Are you a doctor? Have you ever done an exam? No. I said, then you and Top Sergeant kissed my goddamn ass. I'm so damn smart, I didn't have to keep notes in medical school. I read the law. The law is ridiculously fair. I apply it correctly, and I'm not going to change. Because I'm always right. I don't have to read a self-help book. Well, I think you're right, Doc. All right. I said, and so I'm going to continue this. But Top Sergeant's ass is mine. So he goes, says, Top, I think you opened a can of worms. So Top, see these bars? You're going to empty these trash cans 4 times a day. Here are your new orders. I want to see in this window you empty them into that dumpster. And then you'll come in Saturday, and we'll talk about your attitude towards retiring veterans. All right? Well, he's emptying air because the guys are taking the trash out. I doubt if he actually changed his attitude. Probably made him worse. Probably hurt people after that. Why do we have that attitude? I understand when I started doing legal medicine in the early 70s, a zillion years ago, I thought 60% of my patients would be honest, 40% be flaky, maybe be lie, symptom magnification, all that stuff. That makes me amongst normal doctors, everyday doctors, not insurance doctors that have to sell their soul and write a zero every time. Pro-injured person. Well, now I do this all the time. It's just the opposite. You've got to draw the history out because people don't want to be thinking of as a malingerer. By the way, malingering is a very difficult diagnosis a doctor to make, and orthopedic surgeons, you are not trained to diagnose malingering. That's a psychological diagnosis. Okay, so that's my spiel for that. Okay, Tom. The AMA stinks. The OWCP IME doctor quoted in an AMA Guides newsletter article that basically says injured workers are lying because they tend to overestimate their pre-injury and underestimate the post-injury baseline. Listen to that. That's in the AMA Guides. Does that not show prejudice? Absolutely prejudice. Hell, it's better to be a black man in the KKK meeting in 1934 than to work with the AMA and the AMA Guides. Now, AMA, come sue my ass, and we'll get this into federal court. In 2009, this book came out. This is the 6th edition. And this is the 5th edition. In 2009, I saw that they dropped the amount of nerves in the upper extremity like 46%, lower extremity like 40%. How can that change from one edition to the next? And in January of this year, the Department of Labor exonerated me and said, this is costing our injured federal employees almost $1 billion since 2009, $900 million. AMA, pull your head out of your ass and get somebody down here to talk to me. And if you don't like this attitude, don't come, because I'm going to tell you like it is. And I am exonerated, they're wrong, and damn it, this guy works just for insurance companies. AMA, you've sold your soul and you don't even know it. And I've been paying dues for 100 years, and so I go to the meeting of this by these authors. One of the things they do in the 6th edition, if you have 3 surgeries on the shoulder, rotator cuff surgery, biceps tendon surgery, and labrum surgery, you can only rate 1. Did you hear that? You have 3 surgeries. So you have triplets. One has 1 surgery, one has 2, one has 3. They all just get 1. That's beyond just goddamn common sense. And I'm just madder than hell. I said, damn it, you've sold your soul to the insurance companies. Well, we need to get on this course. I said, I've been paying my AMA dues for 100 years. I paid you $1,000. I'm coming over this table to beat the shit out of you so you put this in a public forum and sue me, and I'm going to hang your balls. That's what I'm putting up with. Just because you've got a white coat and you're the American Medical Association, which is a phenomenal organization. I'm proud to be a member of it. But by God, wrong is wrong, and stupid, and this is criminal. This is awful. And the Department of Labor is exonerating. So, now no one's going to come. Oh, because you can't say I'm wrong. Well, you are. Now, my problem is I'm always right. And I'm humble. Yeah, right. Okay. So that's amen. And so that tells you all about that Office Works of Compensation Program, independent medical doctor. Bullshit, independent. Hell, he's working for the insurance company. Because he knows if he does what I do and tell the truth, he won't get any business. In fact, I've got a doctor, this is VA, who does, at Houston, wonderful guy, and he does it for there are 3 companies that contract to do C&P exams for vets, and he gets letters saying, you're finding extra things on the C&P exams. Shouldn't that be a good thing? Just like when the general said, you're finding more on the excellence physical. Shouldn't I get a reward for that? Shouldn't I get a ribbon for that? Not if you're an insurance company, but the VA is not an insurance company. But people work for it feel like that. Okay, now this is from William. Denied service connected with shoulder, didn't complain of service. That doesn't mean a thing. Okay? If you have a broken foot, you're not going to turn it in. You're going to repeat basic. And no one go. And besides, back then, you're more testosterone in the brains, and so you don't go because you're going to get on KP. All right? So they denied all this stuff. You need now here we got. Now, these mechanical injuries, rotator cuff tear, arthritis, those musculoskeletal things, we will diagnose if you don't have it. But now, here we have an interesting thing. Denied service connect for diabetes. You were a pesticide applicator. So I have to do a literature search on that before I can tie that up to diabetes. But if you've had a lawyer that had a lawsuit against those people, that would be good information. Okay, but that's harder unless we can find literature. So do literature search, do that. Because if I have to do it, I'm going to charge you more than just the $500 for a shoulder. Okay, but that can be done. The criteria for VA is not the same criteria as criminal law, civil law, state workers' comp. VA and federal, real fair. But no one knows it. Okay, that's 10. Okay. And here is Kane. Do you guys handle cases in all states? Yes, except Hawaii, and then I'll come meet you. No, of course we do. And the territories and everything else. A lot of federal employees come from not only all over the United States. Go to Ellis Clinic, and you'll see a map, and you'll see pins from all over that are federal or VA, and from both sides of the ocean, because there are a lot of federal employees all over the world. And unfortunately, there are very few people that are trained in legal medicine. There's no course in it. I mean, you get an MD, JD, your attorney, you still don't know this stuff. Okay, you got to come to me, and I'll teach you how to do it. It's all self-taught. 50 plus years of teaching. Love doing it, love batting for my kids, and I'll call it like it is, and I will. I'm always surprised that I don't wake up with a bullet hole in the back of my head. But that's okay if I do. Okay? I love doing this. I love being a flight surgeon, love being in Vietnam, and of course hated being in Vietnam. Love being a family doctor in Pauls Valley, treating everybody, and God, this is wonderful. Delivering babies, doing surgery, and then helping vets and helping federal patients and helping widows. Yeah, this is fun stuff. I'm doing more good for my fellow man doing legal medicine than when I did good medicine. I think it was good medicine. And I love it all. And I will tell you again what the Lord has told me. I'll be doing this actively till I'm 90, and at 91, I'll start working 20 hours a day instead of 29. But don't mess with my babies, or I'm coming after you, and I'm going to call it like it is. God bless you all.
Thank you, Doc.